Losing weight for most people include a strict diet that barely allows you to eat anything, crazy cardio where you burn out after your first day or two, or a ridiculous amount of heavy lifting.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. If you want your weight loss to be a complete lifestyle change, then you first have to change your mindset. That's where it all starts. No shortcuts, no quick diets, no starving yourself to death, no surgery, no restricting yourself so much from something that you break it before it even becomes a habit. No, we're not doing none of that because none of that is sustainable. And we want it to be a lifestyle change. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Brianna, and today we're going to go over my weight loss journey, and I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks and things that helped me with my weight loss journey. I'm also going to talk about things that I realized while going through my weight loss journey in hopes that it would help some of y'all. I know this is probably part of your New Year goal. Everybody usually starts off the year so good with their New Year goals, especially weight loss, fitness goals. People always have these high gym goals. I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna be eating right, I'm gonna be going on my walks, blah, blah, blah. And by this time this year, most people have already fell off. And I want to have this video be an encouragement for you to get back on track with your weight loss goals, with your fitness goals, y'all. If you have fell off, and if you haven't fell off, kudos to you. We're gonna give you some paying class because for the most part, most people fall off from their New Year goals, fitness, weight loss, and really a lot of goals, honestly, at this point, which is crazy how short of a span that is for people to fall off. But hey, a lot can happen in a month. So we're gonna give everybody a little bit of grace. So if you fell off, hop back on, okay? Hop back on it. Let this be your sign to do just that. So yes, as you saw by the title, I did lose 30 pounds last year. And one of the biggest things I had to learn is it's not a quick fix, okay? Especially if you want it to be a lasting change. First thing you gotta get out your mind, it's not about to happen overnight. You gotta remember it's an ongoing thing in your mind, a thing that's gonna take time, because on those days where you feel like not going, you haven't seen no progress, y'all. I went months on months without seeing my weight drop in scale. Because at first, that's all I was concerned about, was getting to a certain weight. And I think that also is one of the tips I will tell y'all. Don't focus so much on the scale, because there can be other signals and factors that you are getting healthier and getting more fit, but it doesn't necessarily have to always do with the scale. So don't be so fixated on the scale, because I was at first, and that is a downfall, because you start hitting that scale every day and you see it not moving, you're not going to want to do nothing, okay? And I did not want to do nothing. Like I said, that scale was not moving for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. It was unmotivating me so much to get up each day. But I kept on jumping on that scale every morning. For what? I don't know why. But I had to put that to a stop because it was unmotivating me. And it was just playing with my mental completely. And also I had to just push my, what's the saying? Pull myself up by my bootstraps. Because another thing is letting your motivation be your determinant of what you're going to do today. If you're going to go to the gym, if you're going to eat healthy, you're not going to always feel motivated to do it, okay? Especially, like I said, if you feel like you're not seeing any progress, you're going to be like, okay, well, why am I doing this? What? Like, anybody would feel like that. If you're not seeing progress, it's like, I'm wasting my time, okay? But you're not wasting your time, because even if you don't see the progress, if you're sticking to your goals, there is some progress that you might just not be seeing. But progress is happening, okay? One way or the other. Every day you show up for yourself, progress is happening. It just might not be as obvious to you as it can be for other things, okay, y'all? But yeah, it's not a quick fix. And balance is honestly key when it comes to losing weight and being able to create a routine where you can actually sustain for long periods of time, y'all. At least to the point where you can actually build a habit upon it. Balance to me, I like to eat. Okay, like me some sweets, a good sweet treat gonna do me right every time. Some cookies, a cake. I like a good sweet treat, okay, y'all? One of the things I had to stop doing is completely cutting out sweets, because then I would go and binge sweets. Once I realized, oh, the scale not moving, why am I doing this? Why am I restricting myself? And sweets is a comfort food for me too, so I'm already feeling bad. I'm feeling like I'm not making no progress. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I could be eating my, sweet treats. I'm feeling bad. That's what I want right now. So then I binge the sweets. So I had to come to a realization that cutting it cold turkey usually never works for a lot of habits that we have, a lot of addictions that we have. Cutting it cold turkey never usually works. I had to, like I said, come to a realization that balance is key. And so instead of cutting it out completely, I just cut back on it. I wouldn't be eating it every single day. Y'all, I was the type of person, if I'm gonna cook a meal, if I'm cooking dinner, I'm gonna have cookies right after as my treat for the night. I always felt like I had to have dessert after I cook dinner or something. Like, no, you don't have to have dessert every single freaking night, okay? You don't have to do that. So stuff like that, just cutting back on something that you really like. Maybe you like sodas, cut back on that. Maybe not have it multiple times a day. Maybe have it once a week if that's, you know, if that's cutting down for you. Or cutting down could be different for anybody. Like I said, I was eating sweets every single day. So me eating it every other day or every 3 days or once a week, that's a cutback for me. For some people, they might not have even eaten sweets that much. So to them, that might not be a cutback for them. But in terms of how I used to eat sweets, that's cutting it down for me. But for other things, like I use as an example, soda. Soda is calories, and soda is something I really could do without. That is something for me that I don't necessarily just love, and I could definitely cut out. Because I don't be craving soda. I just pick up soda if it's there. If I go out to eat, I just say soda. Like I don't crave soda. So that is one thing that adds to, you know, calories and health-wise that I don't necessarily have to have. So I cut soda off. So you just have to know yourself and create a plan that works for you. You're the only person who knows you, okay? What works for you is not gonna work for the next person. So like I said, you might not be a sweets lover. You might be a soda drinker or whatever. You just have to cut back where you can, okay? You don't have to cut nothing cold turkey if you don't want to, but if you know it's not good for you, cut back on it in some type of way. And if you want to eventually lean yourself off of it completely, you can do that as well. Just cut back a little bit more each time, you know? For me, I had to cut out completely. I can't eat steak and red meat like that. It just doesn't work well with my stomach. So those are one of the things I cut completely out. And like I said, that cutting out can be different for everybody, y'all. I honestly I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like I said, sweets is a comfort food to me. So for the winter, when I'm in the house, I'm sitting by the fireplace, we eating good food, being with my family, all that. I ate sweets, y'all. Baby, I had some cookies, I had apple dumplings, I had some cake, I had some brownies. I ain't gonna lie to you, I had a little bit of everything. But like I said, it all goes back to balance. Balance is key. Because even after eating all that this winter, I'm still 174, y'all. So it's really about balance. You don't have to cut nothing completely out if you just don't want to. Another thing I realized about myself was that I eat sometimes or snack a lot when I'm just bored. And I had to really start, I was actually just talking to my friend about this when we were in Toronto, but I had to really start asking myself, like, are you actually hungry before I pick these bag of chips up? Or if I go cook me, am I actually hungry, or am I just trying to find something to do? Am I bored? I think I used food a fulfillment of boredom. That sounds a real big baggage to me, but it's true. I used to just eat as like to find something to do. Even just going to a restaurant, I just wanted to go eat. I wanted to go do something. Oh, let's go to a restaurant, let's go eat, even though I might have already ate or I'm not even hungry for real. I'm just trying to do something. But me and my friend were basically saying the same thing. Like, she's like that too. So I think there were other people like that, but you have to start to really analyze you and what you do and really think about it, because once you start realizing why you do stuff, you can start to kind of rectify and modify, you know, what you do so that you can accomplish your goal. Another tip I would say is don't stress out about it. I know you want to lose weight, you want to lose weight fast, you might have a birthday coming up, everybody be talking about their birthday. My birthday is so my days, You still gotta chill. Don't stress yourself out too much, because you can really cause the reverse effect. Stress can play a factor in weight gain. You not losing weight, stress plays a major factor in the overall operation of your whole entire body, okay? And it will come into factor with weight loss. So you can focus on your weight loss journey, you can prioritize it, but do not stress yourself out about it, y'all. There are days where you're going to maybe show up to the gym and only do maybe 40% effort. And there's days when you're going to show up and you're going to do 90% effort. And that's okay. It is okay, y'all. Every day you're not going to show up and just be this amazing, great person in the gym, or this amazing, great person eating, a salad for lunch and salmon for dinner, and you're just eating so good. You don't stress yourself out about it. So folks are trying to lose weight, you might be hurting yourself. Another tip is walking matters. I don't know what anybody says, walking, cardio, it does matter. Now, cardio can be in the forms of multiple different things. Some people like cycling, some people like running, some people like dancing, they do Zumba classes and other things like that. So your cardio can be so many things, y'all. I personally tried a whole bunch of different ones, and I would rather just walk. Let me just get a good on walking in, and I'm cool with that. So I like to just get my steps in. I try to get 10K steps a day. That's always my goal, whether I get it or not. I do not stress myself out about it. Whatever I can walk in a day, I try to walk in a day. I've come to the conclusion and decision to not stress myself out about it. Like I said, that doesn't help you either. And it could also be hurting you in your weight loss journey. When I first started my weight loss journey, I wasn't doing any cardio. I was only doing strength training. I was gaining muscle, but I wasn't necessarily losing the weight. So essentially the scale was going up. Even though I wasn't doing nothing different, the scale was going up because I just added in strength training. So I'm building muscle, okay? But I wasn't losing the fat. I'm just building muscle on top of the fat, essentially, is how I feel about it. And that's why I was gaining weight, even though I wasn't backtracking on anything. I just wasn't actually losing the fat. I wasn't doing anything to lose the fat. So then I started two things, adding cardio in the mix. Like I said, I started having a goal of 10K steps. Minimum of what I try to do is 7K, but it just depends on what works for you. Also, on top of that, I started counting calories. Now, this is something I do not do now, but at the time, I was trying to make sure I wasn't overeating, which I found out I was overeating, y'all. When you really start to look at calories of certain things, you will... it will blow your mind how much. We never use serving sizes the right way. Like, we do not be using the correct serving size. That's the first problem. So when you think something might not be a lot of calories, you look at the box, oh, that says 190. That says 190 for 3/4 cup. Did you measure 3/4 cup? No. Okay. We're always essentially over consuming for the most part, most people. And so I had to realize that, because even with a bowl of cereal, that says a certain amount. It said a certain amount over, well, I think that might be 3/4 cups or whatever it is this serving size. Baby, I just be pouring that all in the bowl. I'm not measuring 3/4 cup of cereal. Who's doing that? Okay. But then that means you're eating more than your serving size and you're consuming more calories than was intended. Okay. So I don't think you necessarily have to count calories, but I do think you should be mindful of calories. But when I first started counting calories, really helped me, because helped me noticed that I was over consuming, and I would have never ever noticed that if I hadn't started counting my calories. Because even with fast food, I'm thinking I'm eating something that might be semi-healthy, not all the way, but I don't want to cook right now, so I'm gonna go to Chipotle and get a Chipotle bowl. I want y'all to go look up how much a Chipotle bowl burrito, how many calories it have. That was dang near almost 1,000 calories, 800 to 1,000 calories, something like that, y'all. And mind you, your daily calories for the most part is supposed to be like 2,000 or something, they said. So that's almost half your calories with one meal. So that's your dinner. You probably already ate lunch. You probably already ate breakfast. Yeah. These sweets, oh, crumble. It's one cookie. One of those cookies could be 1,000 calories. Like, you can think it's something so little. Oh, I'm just gonna eat one, and I'm just gonna, just one burrito, just one bowl, just one cookie. You don't actually look at the nutritional facts behind it, the calories and stuff. You could be leading yourself astray, thinking you're actually eating healthy, you're actually cutting back. Please look at the serving size, the calories. That really helped me, because now I know, like, in my mind, for the most part, all the things I eat, I have in my mind how many calories that's going to give me now, because of when I first started, I was counting calories. I eat most of the same things, okay, y'all? So I just remember in my head mentally, oh, that's about so-and-so calories. That's about so-and-so. If I'm a couple, I'm 2 or 3 off, 10 off, I don't really care now. I don't really stress out about it now. Like I said, I don't even keep up with it no more. But in my mind, it's always there, because that's how I started off. But like I said, you don't have to actually keep up with it. Oh, I had 1,000 calories here, 500 calories here. You don't have to keep up with it like that, but do be mindful of it and read those serving sizes and those nutrition facts about it, calories and all that stuff. So, also, if you want to get really into the health thing, you can start looking at the sodium and all that stuff in it. But I'm not getting into all that, because I didn't do all that. My main thing was calories, looking at calories. Another thing was water. I was not a consumer of just water. Like I said, I like juice and stuff like that, but you need water, y'all. Water. You do not want to be like me. I'm working out, pass out, hit my head. Please consume some water. Get y'all some water in there. Make sure you're drinking water. And what helped me, which was kind of not even intentional, but me cutting out soda and cutting out soda juice and all that, and I only had water to drink, that inevitably made me drink more water. It wasn't the intention, but that's what happened. So make sure y'all stay hydrated, y'all. That always makes a better workout. I know when I'm dehydrated and trying to work out, that's not it, okay? So just make sure you have some water in your body. Like I said, you do not want to pass out. I passed out and hit my head hard. Had to go to the hospital and everything, so don't be like me. So another thing was juicing. So I'm not a big vegetable eater. I don't just love vegetables. I know what you might be saying, what are you, 6? Ha ha ha, you're so funny. But no, I just don't like vegetables, okay? So one of the things I would do is juicing. So juicing really helped me incorporate getting my vegetable intake in, getting me some fruits in. Because although I do like fruits, I don't just sit there and just crave fruits and just eat fruits. When I want something sweet, you know what I go to, okay? This was just a great way for me to get the vegetables and fruits that I needed, that I was lacking. That also helped with my digestive system, because I just used to feel so, it might be TMI, but I used to feel so constipated, y'all. I used to bloat a lot, and I feel like juicing really helped with that. Anybody else bloats a lot, you know, you're not getting your vegetables, your fruits in, and you just feel really just bloating. Your digestive system, you feel like it's not working right, then try juicing, y'all, because that's a natural way to get that stuff in, and it really helps with, you know, cleaning you out a little bit naturally. Another thing I did was smoothies, protein smoothies. So you don't have to do protein smoothies. If you're getting your protein naturally, that's fine if you're eating enough to get that protein. I wasn't eating enough to get that protein, so I started having to implement protein smoothies. They were a lifesaver for me to get my protein intake up, because you do need protein when you're trying to gain or lose weight. You need to be eating protein, okay? I had to get out of the mindset of starving myself or not eating as much and move to, let me eat the right thing. Let me eat the right foods, good foods, because you still have to nourish your body. You still have to eat for you to actually lose weight or gain weight. Regardless, okay? You can't just starve yourself. You can do that, but that's not a healthy way to do that. Your body is not going to like that, and you're not going to feel good when doing that. Doing the smoothies also help for days or meals where I wanted to eat something. I needed something to eat to get my protein in, but I didn't necessarily want anything heavy. I didn't want to actually eat anything. I'm not too hungry. I would just do a smoothie and replace that, and I still get maybe 20 something to 30 grams of protein still in with the protein smoothie. So along with that, we're gonna go right into foods. I had to change my eating habits. Like I said, I didn't necessarily cut anything out, but I did have to start up my intake. Different foods, like I said, vegetables, fruits. I started eating more chicken, more salmon, maybe doing omelets in the morning and not just cereal every day, or not just skipping breakfast every day, doing parfaits, yogurt bowls. You just gotta get creative with the things that you like to eat and incorporating it some type of way into what you need to be eating. That's kind of what I did, and I just modified my eating habits a little bit and started incorporating more of the foods that I needed and just cutting back on what I knew I didn't need and I knew wasn't helping me in my goals. But no strict diet, y'all. It was just about balancing, y'all. And I had to realize, like I said at the beginning, what worked for my body and what didn't work, what I needed more of, what I didn't need more of, and making a plan that went along with that. So going more into foods, meal prepping is a great idea for people who don't have a lot of time. If you have a job that consumes a lot of your time and you're not at home a lot, meal prepping will be your best friend, okay? Now, personally, I'm a spontaneous eater and I'm not the best cooker. I don't like to cook. It don't relax me, like some of y'all be saying. I just don't like it, okay? So for me, I didn't like meal prepping. I tried it, but I'm more of a spontaneous eater. I don't even be knowing what I'll be wanting until 30 minutes before, okay? And I'll have some random taste for food. I don't love meal prepping, and I also don't need to meal prep because I work from home. So I can go down there and fix me some food anytime I want to. So I don't necessarily need to, so I just stopped forcing myself to, because I realized it didn't work for me, because I end up not even wanting what I meal prepped. And if you like to cook and you're trying to lose weight, meal prepping, it would be a great thing. You make your meals, have them already in the refrigerator, because one of the things about it is, like I read in Atomic Habits, I recommend y'all go read that book if you haven't, but one of the things we as humans do is we're all about convenience, okay? So if we have the choice of picking something out of the refrigerator to eat real quick versus cooking a whole meal, or we have the choice of, we just got off work, it's 7 p.m. and we gotta wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, what's gonna be convenient for us? Going to the fast food place next door, or sitting at home in the kitchen cooking a meal? So make it convenient. Make your goals convenient for you, okay? So if your goal is to lose weight, you're eating whole meals, whole foods, meal prep. Have it convenient for you, so as soon as you come home, you just pop the thing in the microwave and you eat it. Because if it comes to that day, like I said, and it's 6 p.m., you gotta wake up at 5 a.m., you tired, you ain't got no energy, which one you gonna pick for real? Which one you gonna pick for real? You gonna go stand in that kitchen and cook food, or you just gonna go to the fast food place next door? You gonna pick the fast food place, okay? So just make your goals convenient so that you can just, grab and go. Like I said, juicing, go ahead and make your juices for the week so you can just grab and go. Make your goals work for you. Make it easy for you. It also goes to a tip of cooking at home. You don't know necessarily, they tell you what's all in your food when you go out to eat, but you don't know necessarily everything that's going on with your food unless you cook it at home, basically, is what I'm saying. So it's always better to just go ahead and cook your food at home. I always recommend that. It's easy to keep up with what you're eating, your calories, all that stuff. You know exactly what you're, where it came from, what you're intaking, all that. I just believe cooking at home, it helps you more with weight loss goals than continuously going out to eat. Because y'all, like I told y'all about the crumble cookie and all that and Chipotle bowls, that stuff be high in calories, and we don't even be knowing because it's just, oh, it's one cookie, it's one burrito. I used to get Firehouse Sub all the time thinking it's not that bad. One Firehouse Sub is, like I said, about 1,000-some calories. That's not the only meal I ate that day. So my last thing is working out. When you're strength training, don't just strength train one part of your body, y'all. I know as girls, we want that big booty. But strength train everywhere. You don't have to go as hard everywhere, but try to strength train everywhere. You want a healthy body, and healthy body is your whole body. When it comes to, I'm trying to tighten my core up. I didn't realize when I first started, I'm just sitting there doing ab exercises, just sit-ups, you know, stuff like that. But there are exercises specifically for your core, to strengthen your core. And that's not necessarily ab exercises. They're different. And I didn't know that at first. I'm just sitting here, why my stomach ain't getting tight? And I'm not doing the correct exercises to get it tight. So I had to start, you know, doing some research, implementing core exercises, and slowly but surely, you know, my little weight started going in. And I mean, it's not just that, because I was, you know, getting my steps in, I'm changing my eating habits. Like I said, it's not just a one thing. It's not a one quick fix. It's a combination of a whole bunch of different things. But y'all, at the end of the day, just start small. It ain't gotta be perfect. Like I said, you do not have to show up every day at 70-90% effort. Just show up, okay? Take it one step at a time, and don't stress it. Show up each day and try to do a little bit better than yesterday. And mind you, everybody's body is different, but I'm telling you, I did what worked for me, the lessons I learned. That is my experience. It might not work for you. It might not mean anything to you. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research and figure out what works for your body. And just a PSA, I do want to say, throughout this process, enjoy it. Enjoy your weight loss journey just like you would enjoy any other journey process. Start enjoying and taking happiness and enjoyment in the process, because that is going to help you want to continue the process. So love yourself, love your body through it all, from your beginning size to your end result size. Love every part of you through every stage, because it's still you at the end of the day. So I want you to love yourself, even if you're halfway through your journey of weight loss, you're not even barely started, you're almost at the end. Love your body through it all, from beginning to end, and really enjoy in the process and stay in the moment. And that will help you with wanting to continue the journey, and it'll help you with accepting your progress, whether it's good this week or bad. So yeah, that's my tips, my little advice for weight loss journey. That's how I did it. That's what I learned, y'all. But let me know in the comments if you can relate to anything that I've said, if you're going to take anything that I said into effect. I hope this helps y'all in any type of way. And I would love to keep up with y'all in y'all weight loss journey, to hold each other accountable. I'm still trying to lose more weight. And yeah, I would love to be y'all accountability partners. And if y'all want more videos about this, or y'all want me to start making content around this, then I will. Just let me know in the comments. But that's it for this video. See y'all in the next one.